the Sunday Night Anthem, presented by Uber Eats.
Nestled in the neighborhood here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's legendary Lambeau Field. For 66 years, home of the Green Bay Packers. And tonight, four-time MVP Aaron Rodgers renews his rivalry with the Chicago Bears, led by Justin Fields. It's week 2 of Sunday Night Football on NBC. And thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark. In a minute, the big question, how's your voice?
I'm good.
You're good? All right, we're going to make it through. Well, hopefully your voice is better than last week. Hopefully the Packers, for their fans, are better than last week. Because for the second straight year, they opened with a clunker, a loss at Minnesota. And last year, they came back, won 13 games. They were the #1 seed. But you think that might not be as easy this year?
No, I don't, but I do expect them to bounce back here. The question is, without Davante Adams, who is it that's going to wake up this Green Bay Packers offense? And defensively, they made a lot of mistakes last week as well. So I'd be surprised if they don't bounce back. But, Mike, I was surprised all day today. It was nuts out there.
It was. Speaking of surprises, how about the Bears? They beat San Francisco, a team that made it to the NFC Championship game, 19-10. A great way for the new head coach, Matt Eberflus. It's a new regime. What do you make of the rebuilding Bears?
It's all about Justin Fields, isn't it? In that game last week in the rain, the first half, the offense just looked terrible. They come back in the second half and they score touchdowns on 3 straight drives. But it always comes down to one thing for the Bears. Can they overcome the curse of Aaron Rodgers? Some would say he owns them.
They are trying to turn the tide because the Packers have won 11 of the last 12. It's edition 205 of the most played rivalry in the history of the National Football League. The Bears and the Packers, next on Sunday Night Football.
It's another new chapter to be written tonight. It's Bears-Packers from Green Bay.
Welcome to the Brat Stop. The Brat Stop is the metaphorical 50-yard line between Green Bay and Chicago.
Bear down!
It's Packers country.
Bears! Yeah! Go, Pack, go!
Good old-fashioned NFC North battle.
This is the league's oldest rivalry.
It's the greatest rivalry in NFL history.
When the schedule comes out, the very first thing I do is to look when the Packers and Bears play.
They're not physical enough! Nothing else in the past matters. But this moment.
Oh, tonight's the Super Bowl for us.
The final dagger into the Chicago Bears.
Just like Rodgers said last season.
We own the Bears.
New coach, new season, new story. Here we go. Yeah!
These baby Bears are 1-0.
Don't sleep on the Bears.
Another Bears game, another win.
The next chapter in the league's oldest rivalry is here.
And hello to all those fans watching at the Brat Stop tonight and all along the 211 miles that separates Soldier Field and Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. What separates these teams of late? Number 12. For more on Aaron Rodgers, here's Melissa Stark.
Mike, this offseason there was speculation that Aaron Rodgers may retire at the age of 38. Instead, he signed a 3-year, $150 million contract extension. He told us he knew exactly what he was getting into, that his go-to wide receiver, Davante Adams, may not be here, and that this is a very young team. But he added, I love a challenge. He said he's going to coach these guys up hard, he's preaching patience, and that they've simplified the game plan. As for this rivalry, well, in his words, I still own you. That's what he famously told the crowd in Chicago last season after rushing for a touchdown. He told us, I know that triggered people, but it was authentic in the moment, and it's a true statement. It is true. He's 23-5 in his career against the Bears. When he first came into the league, the Packers were behind in the rivalry. Now they're ahead. He told us he's going to leave this place better than he found it.
Well, his coach is doing the same too. Matt LaFleur, 6-0 against the Bears, Melissa. He's won 39 of his first 50 NFL games. On the other side, game one in the rivalry for Matt Eberflus, his first head coaching job after 4 years as the Colts defensive coordinator. Chicago won the toss, deferred to the second half, so Green Bay gets the ball. First, Kairos Santos will kick off to Amari Rodgers. You can't write the story of the NFL without the Packers and the Bears. And here's chapter 205 of their shared story. Off we go from Lambeau. And Rodgers will let it go, and they'll bring the other Rodgers, Aaron, out with the Green Bay offense.
Aaron Rodgers, Butte Community College.
Aaron Jones, El Paso, Texas.
Alan Lazard, Iowa State.
Sammy Watkins, Clemson.
Randall Cobb, Alcoa High School.
Mercedes Lewis, UCLA.
Josh Nyman, Virginia Tech.
John Runyon, Michigan.
Josh Myers, Ohio State.
Royce Newman, Ole Miss.
Elton Jenkins, Mississippi State.
Good to have Jenkins back for the Green Bay Packers going up against the Bears. He's over there at right tackle, 74. No David Bakhtiari, the two-time All-Pro, still not ready with his knee. First carry, Aaron Jones, who'll go to the right, tackled after a gain of 3. Right out of the gate, we have a flag. So we'll hear from Craig Rolstadt, our referee tonight. Craig in his 9th year as a referee, and this is the 4th time that he's worked a Packers-Bears game.
Personal foul, illegal low block, defense number 22. That's a 15-yard penalty added at the end of the play. Automatic first down.
That's Kendall Vildor, and that's a rule that was added last year to protect the blockers on the edge when the defenders go low.
Yeah, and it's not too great a rule if you're a defensive back and you have a huge offensive lineman coming down at you. That's what they do. They go cut their legs, but no more. You can't do that, and that is a, let's say, a point of discussion in the DB room.
It will be a point of discussion when they look at film. Tough to pick up a flag with no contact, although that is part of the rule. But a tough one to open for the Bears. The Packers have it out at the 43-yard line. And right back to Jones on the ground. He'll get 5 to the 48-yard line. Maybe more on the ground because Aaron Rodgers' numbers last week, not good. 11 of those 22 completions to the wide receivers. So much of the focus with Davante Adams now with the Raiders. Well, it was his worst game since the opener a year ago against New Orleans. So we'll see if he and Matt LaFleur bounce back.
Yeah, how did that go? Threw 2 interceptions that game, 2 the rest of the year, and won the MVP.
Officially a gain of 4, it's 2nd and 6. And Rodgers' first throw across the middle and complete for the first down. And Sammy Watkins has it as Watkins, the veteran, has come over to try to fill in of this receiving pool.
Mike, a little surprise here. The conservative Chicago Bears on defense come out in a single high safety look, man-to-man coverage on the outside, and Aaron Rodgers says thank you very much. I'll go ahead and take that little slant on the outside, but usually this Bears defense plays with 2 deep safeties. They'll allow you to run the football. They don't want to get into man coverage.
Watkins doing that on the rookie Kyler Gordon. A.J. Dillon in the game, both backs in the game, and here is Dillon carrying. He'll get a couple of yards. Robert Quinn, the stop for the Chicago defense.
Robert Quinn, Oak Brook Elementary.
Justin Jones, NC State.
Angelo Blackson, Wilmington, Delaware.
Al-Fadin Muhammad, the U.
Nicholas Morrow, Greenville College.
Roquan Smith, LBU, Georgia.
Jalen Johnson, Central High School.
Kendall Vildor, Georgia Southern.
Eddie Jackson, Alabama.
Jaquan Brisker, Penn State.
Kyler Gordon, Washington, DBU.
Those last two guys, both second-round picks, both rookies, starting in the Chicago secondary.
319!
Mr. Hard Count didn't get him, but he throws incomplete. As the coverage was good on the outside from one of those rookie DB starters, we mentioned Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State.
Jaquan Brisker, a big hitter on the back end. They all celebrate the physical nature of that guy. He is a true Chicago Bear. He and Kyler Gordon on the other side, the slot corner, plays outside, but those two guys are going to have a lot to do with the outcome of this one.
3rd and 7 here. We've seen a couple of snaps now, Chris, with Jones and Dillon in the backfield, getting your best players, your best 11 out there. Rodgers goes quick here and over the middle. It is caught for the first down as Alan Lazard returns. Didn't play against Minnesota with the ankle injury. Off a good season last season, and he keeps this drive going.
This is how good the Packers can be. Even when they play this one-look coverage and bring the safety down inside, that is meant to take away that very route right there. Eddie Jackson just a half step late getting there. You could see Gordon stepping to the outside, inviting that inside route, but the Packers still win.
First down from the 28.
319!
Pitch back to Dillon. He'll snake his way to the right and won't get much as the Bears defense is all over that. It's Gordon up from his corner spot to come in and make the stop.
Yeah, I think the Bears have been reading the newspapers all week long. We've been hearing about the Green Bay Packers, right? We got to get back to our running game. We got to get Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon going, all that. So they're going on first down, single high, man-to-man. They've got no problem. They figured out they have to take away this run and see what happens. There's Alan Williams.
The defensive coordinator, 21 years of NFL experience. He's taken over on the play calling side. Matt Eberflus, the head coach, did call the defense in Indianapolis, but he wants to be full-time focused on head coaching. On second down, nowhere to go as Angelo Blackson's in the backfield to erase A.J. Dillon and set up 3rd and long.
So many times the center has to really try and work hard to reach to get to the outside. That time you're going to see Blackson just jump right around Josh Myers in the back door and make the play. They're playing both these running backs at the same time right now, A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones quite a bit, using Aaron Jones flanked out as a receiver.
So Fields waits. This is the 9th play of this drive. 5 runs, 3 passes, and Randall Cobb's on the field for Rodgers on 3rd and 10. And this play killed before it gets started.
Green Bay.
As Matt LaFleur will take a timeout here on this opening drive. Well, Chris, you talked about the running backs, and that's part of it, the trust factor for Aaron Rodgers. The 2 young receivers who are expected to be contributors, maybe just not ready. And we saw that the very first play of the game against Minnesota last week.
But I'll say this. If the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl this year, that's always the goal anytime you have Aaron Rodgers. Those 2 guys have to develop during the course of the year. Romeo Doubs is a tremendous athlete, has the ability to go up and contested catches, make plays, very quick off the line of scrimmage. And Christian Watson has remarkable speed. Blew right by Minnesota first play, dropped the pass. But if those 2 guys can develop and then the other guys can be sort of the complementary part, the veterans, they don't have to get behind the defense and stretch the defense, that's when the Packers could be great.
And that's why those running backs become more of a focus, and there was no way Aaron Jones was only going to get 8 touches this week. 3rd and 10. 5 in the pattern for Rodgers. Good pressure. He escapes and lofts it. What a catch by Jones. The Bears say incomplete. It came out. The official is marking it complete. The catch at the 13-yard line. Nick Morrow, the backer, was in coverage.
Beautiful throw here to get it in there. 2 steps down. When does this ball come out? 1, 2. came out very late once he was out of bounds. That's a completed pass.
Rodgers goes quick to try to make sure that there's no chance to challenge the play, and we get a flag thrown on the false start.
False start. Offense. Number 71. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's the center, Josh Myers. Snap never got back there, but that's the trust Rodgers has in veterans and the good hands of the receiver, Jones, out of the backfield.
Yeah, and the best news for Aaron Rodgers tonight is that his right tackle, Elton Jenkins, is back after the ACL, week 11 last year. And he is a cornerstone along with David Bakhtiari, who's getting close, the left tackle.
Two-time All-Pro, missed all of last year. Except for the one game at the end. Rodgers out quick, incomplete, trying to connect with Romeo Doubs, and that's some of the communication with the young receivers where the trust has to develop.
Yeah, and Aaron was trying to save Dobbs' life on that one. He saw that this corner was coming up here, and he goes, look, I'm going to back shoulder this thing to you, turn around. But that's it, Mike. I mean, you saw time after time in the game last week. It was Aaron holding the ball a little longer. He's one of the great anticipate throwers that there is, you know. But in that game, you could just see he was waiting to make sure those young guys were doing what he thought they were going to do.
Play 11 of the opening drive, a three-man rush. Rodgers, end zone, broken up by Kyler Gordon. That second-round pick out of Washington being tested early and coming up on this opening drive.
They've scored a whole bunch of touchdowns like that. It looked like Gordon was in trouble. Lassard had him off the line of scrimmage, had a half a step, and then a leap, a play. And sometimes when you get young athletic guys like Gordon, they can overcome early mistakes.
So now 3rd and 50. Rodgers with some time, pocket collapsing, and he's thrown down. Sacked by Trevis Gibson. So the Bears get there with their pass rush and will force a Green Bay field goal attempt after the long opening drive.
Wow, you don't see Aaron Rodgers miss one very often, but that time Romeo Doubs going to come right into the middle of the field right here and would have had the first down, I believe, if he had come back to that look. Slips and falls down, but Aaron's good enough to hit him when he was on his backside.
So Mason Crosby, who struggled last year, with a 40-yard field goal attempt here. Man who scored the most points in Packer history. Knocks this one through. So the 6.5-minute opening drive. A field goal. But the Bears defense comes up with a stop after Rodgers took the Packers into the red zone. They come away with 3. Sunday Night Football brought to you by Hyundai. It's your journey. By BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Please gamble responsibly. And by Modelo, brewed for full-time fans with the fighting spirit. Look at this rivalry through the years. A game in the rain in 2015, and of course that 2018 memorable Sunday night game where Rodgers was carted off in the first half, came back and led a huge comeback. Randall Cobb got the touchdown to win the game. They've had some moments over the years.
We've seen a lot of them too.
Mason Crosby, the line drive kickoff. Treston Ebner will take it from a yard deep. Ebner across the 20, and it'll be brought down to the 29-yard line. And that's where the Chicago offense will get going.
Justin Fields, The Ohio State University.
David Montgomery, Iowa State.
Darnell Mooney, Tulane.
Equinemius St. Brown, Notre Dame.
Byron Pringle, Kansas State University.
Cole Kmet, Notre Dame.
Braxton Jones, Southern Utah. Cody Whitehair, Kansas State.
Sam Mustipher, Notre Dame.
Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State. Larry Bourne, Missouri.
Bourne, the right tackle's in his second year. The left tackle, Braxton Jones, a rookie taken in the 5th round. Protecting Justin Fields. Drive start at the 29. Fields will hand to David Montgomery. Carried it a lot, not for many yards last week in the rain, and a gain of 4. So for Fields, this is his 12th career start, 3 of them coming in this rivalry against the Packers. You see his career numbers there. He was only 8 of 17 in the rain last week. The 11th pick in the 2021 draft out of Ohio State. Became the starter week 3 last year. He's the starter from the get-go for Matt Eberflus this year.
But the throws he did hit last week were big plays.
The gain of 4. It's Montgomery again sifting through into the secondary. Montgomery will keep his legs going to the 45-yard line, and a first down. Darnell Savage and Adrian Amos over there to make the tackle.
Yeah, and these guys are coming out playing the run. A little bear front right in front of the Chicago Bears. Why not? Nice cutback here by David Montgomery and a late block on the outside to spring him. But for David Montgomery, that's the first time he's been in the free space to do a little running this entire season. Last week was tough.
17 carries, 26 yards is not David Montgomery type numbers. Had 1,000 yards a couple of seasons ago. Well, the 45 Fields mishandles the snap. A botched play against nothing. Jaron Reed, a new addition to his Green Bay defense this year, was there to swallow him up. No gain.
It's hard to tell sometimes. Let's take a look at this one. That was a play in which Sam Mustipher, the center, had to pull hard to his right, and sometimes when that happens, the ball doesn't quite get to the same location because you're kind of snapping on the move. And Justin Fields with an early roll of the eyes.
Play clock running down. Fields needed the play again, but it's at 8. You can't send in a play through the headset at this point, so the Bears are going to have to take a timeout.
First charge timeout. Chicago.
The communication from the sideline cuts out at 15 seconds into the QB's helmet. Timeout, Bears. Law and Order fans, get ready for this one. First time ever, 3 squads, 3 hours, 1 case. Law and Order premiere event, Thursday, 8, 7 Central on NBC and streaming the next day on Peacock. That's the courthouse here in Brown County. Like everything else, it's been around for a while. It's been here since 1910. Out of the Chicago timeout, it's 2nd and 10. Montgomery back to Fields, who throws the intermediate route that is caught by Equanimeous St. Brown, the former Packer, on the run to the 25-yard line, gain of 30 for Chicago.
Beautiful job here. They're executing plays that they know they're going to have to try and trick the Packers to win this game just a bit tonight, but why not? Come out, why not throw a Packer right at him early on? Equanimeous comes out, good catch, good run, and here go the Bears. These guys are confident. They're so young, I don't know that they know any better.
Somebody shut down the St. Brown brothers. His brother Amon-Ra had a great day for the Lions. Montgomery on the run. Good first down run of 13 for David Montgomery. And the Bears look good on the opening drive.
Boy, they sure do, don't they? And come in with the fullback this time, get a good crackback block that time by Equanimeous St. Brown, and going right to the line of scrimmage.
First down from the 12. Here's Montgomery bouncing to the outside. Good move. He feels freed up after last week's confining game. Montgomery has it inside the 5 at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, and they're playing this Bears defense down inside, and so that those big defensive linemen in here are kind of getting pinned inside, and they're starting to go off tackle. It's a really impressive drive here by the Chicago Bears. These guys, I'm telling you, they believe
yes, they do.
They're going to win this game.
12 more rushing yards than last week already for Montgomery. From the 3, it's Fields on the edge to the corner and in for the touchdown. Justin Fields takes care of it himself, and the Bears score first.
Ooh, the Bears. Look at this. Justin Fields, a quarterback tank coming out here on the edge, and if you're a defensive back, you really don't want a whole lot of this guy when he gets up ahead of steam. Good job by Montgomery out there as well, but the Bears are fired up. You know, anytime you come out and win that first game of the season, got a young team, you don't know.
I know the preseason means less than ever. They won all their preseason games. They just started to believe in this rebuild. A lot of young guys on this team. Cairo Santos to the extra point, missed 2 in the slop at Soldier Field last week, but knocks that one in. Well, if they are the baby Bears, he's the leader of the bunch in his second year, Justin Fields. Big pass and the touchdown run, 7-3 Chicago. Good play calling on that drive from Luke Getsy, the Bears offensive coordinator. He's tutoring Justin Fields. He was the quarterback coach with Aaron Rodgers here in Green Bay. So he's on the opposite sideline the last few seasons. And Justin Fields has said, Aaron Rodgers is my favorite quarterback to watch over the years, because he was 9 when Rodgers got the Packers starting job. Now he's watching him in a different way to learn, because the offense is similar. Touchback. Packers will take over deep in their own territory. Matt Eberflus taking over the Bears. Who is he? Somewhat anonymous maybe to you. He's 52 years old. He was a good linebacker at Toledo. Played for Nick Saban, actually, for a year at Toledo. And then had a long and successful college coaching career. When he jumped to the NFL, he was working with the linebackers, with the Browns, and then the Cowboys, including with Jason Garrett for a little bit. And then he was in Indianapolis for the last 4 years as the defensive coordinator for the Colts. Widely respected, interviewed for 3 jobs a couple of years ago, 2, Jacksonville and Chicago, coming in to this season, and he's the new Bears head coach. Rodgers starts in the 25. It is a run of 6 yards on that carry for A.J. Dillon. Chris, give me your sense of Eberflus. We sat with him for a good while last night.
Yeah, I like him. I've known him for a long time, and he wants to engage their mind, their body, and their spirit, and he's known for never walking into the meeting room with notes. He walks in and he just looks at them and he talks to them. And it's kind of cool, right? Of course, I was looking down, writing on my piece of paper, so I had to put down my pen and look up at the guy when he was saying this. But yeah, he gets their attention and they believe.
Dillon the run against the Eberflus defense here for a first down to the 36-yard line. Melissa?
Mike, I talked to Colts 3-time All-Pro linebacker Shaquille Leonard, who spent 4 years with Matt Eberflus as his defensive coordinator in Indianapolis. He credits Eberflus with making him the player he is today. He said he knows exactly how to motivate players. A perfect example, if Eberflus knew a player on the opposing team was drafted higher than Leonard, he would simply whisper it in his ear before a game, knowing how much he would feed off of it.
Well, he's finding a way to connect with these young players and get them to believe for sure here in Chicago. First down for the Packers. Both running backs on the field here as Rodgers throws incomplete. Rare that a guy that wide open is missed by Aaron. A.J. Dillon was the intended target.
Yeah, but I've got to think that Aaron Rodgers, A, is going to start hitting those, but also is going to start feeling really comfortable in the pocket, because already we're starting to see Elton Jenkins on the outside at that right tackle position being able to take his. And when you have a tackle that can block one guy and help with the other side of the line, that just makes such a difference. So Rodgers not going to miss many of those.
3 of 7 to open thus far. On 2nd and 10, he scans, looks to escape. Rodgers has some space. A flag is down on the opposite side of the field as Rodgers is chased out of bounds by Nicholas Morrow, the linebacker for the Bears. Flag came over on the near side, away from the play where Alan Lazard was trying to get free.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 9. That's a 5-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic. First down.
And that's the rookie, Jaquan Brisker.
And if you're coming out of college football, this has to be the most frustrating rule. Right here, number 9, you're going to see him grab Tunyon there. Just a little bit, but it's the contact. And Mike, it's been beat into our heads this year. They are going to enforce that. They believe the NFL is a game of scoring points. They're going to give certain advantages to the offensive unit, and that's a big one.
So 2 options there. The second one looked like there was illegal contact. They took one. It's a little pitch pass to Christian Watson in his hands early. Watson hit hard on the sideline as he fights for the first down. Jalen Johnson with the tackle. So Christian Watson out of North Dakota State, 2nd-round pick for the Packers. He dropped that 75-yard would-be touchdown on the very first play of the game last week in Minneapolis.
But this is smart, right? This counts as a catch. It counts as a completion. He's going to take a big hit at the end. And then look at Jalen Johnson. Just pay attention to the Chicago Bears, and in particular Jalen Johnson trying to punch that ball out. But Watson, get the ball in his hands. He's young. Let him relax. Put a reception on the record book. Yeah, that's the right thing.
2nd and 1. It's a run with Jones to the right side. Kyler Gordon very busy in this opening quarter. Tackles him after the first down is gained at the 38-yard line. Alan Lazard at the end of that play. The little pop pass to Watson. It came off slow. Remember, he missed week 1 with an ankle injury. He's over there on the sideline with Matt LaFleur.
It was interesting talking with Roquan Smith, and we asked him about the 2 backs of the Packers, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. And he goes, you know, Dillon's bigger, but Aaron Jones runs harder. And you can see it play after play. That guy wants the football in his hands, especially after last week.
He's the back now. Fake to him. Rodgers over the middle. It's caught by Sammy Watkins. Into the red zone to the 14-yard line. Second catch for the veteran Watkins. 24 on that hookup.
You see a little hop step right there off the back foot, but that time it was the young guy, Kyler Gordon. They got him for a nice run on the first one. Come right back, play action. You can see number 6 take that half step up, and Sammy Watkins take about 10 steps forward.
Packers trying to respond to the Bears touchdown. The 14, Dillon trying to get over to the right. And all stopped up. Nicholas Morrow's that linebacker next to Roquan Smith. He's a new addition to the Bears. One of the many new additions on the Chicago team. You know, the old line, you got to buy a program to know who's playing. I guess in these days you got to download it off the phone or something.
Right.
But man, it's hard to figure out who these guys are. So many are new to Chicago.
Yeah, but it is going to be exciting. They got a lot of free agents that were relatively low priced, right? Al-Quadin Muhammad, Justin Jones, Nicholas Morrow. All those guys are good football players, and now they're starting to show up.
Into the quarter. And Rodgers just trying to draw him off. After 1, Bears 7, Packers 3. Sunday Night Football continues from Green Bay after these messages. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark with you from Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's a great area they've built up right across the street from the stadium. In the winter, you can go down that nice hill and sled and do all that fun stuff. I'd rather be here in December, to be very honest with you.
Not me.
No, not you? Come on.
Come on, man.
It's Packers Bears. Shouldn't we be cold?
I went jogging 2 times on those trips.
All right, second quarter begins. Just the 3rd drive of the game. Teams have scored on their opening drive. You see Lazard, who went out a couple of plays ago, back in. 2nd and 11, just pitch it to the edge to Aaron Jones inside the 5 and in the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. And the first Lambeau leap of the year.
Let's take a look. Alan Lazard going to come down, bad ankle or not, and take care of this crackback block, and it was a good one. Then out in front was the center, Josh Myers, beautifully executed.
Lazard right back with the impact extra point added by Mason Crosby. Going to check on the official scoring. Initially, that has been ruled a pass, but I think they're going to change that back to a run. It looked like that was backwards. Fantasy football fans, that matters. In any case, Rodgers with the touchdown, getting it to Jones, and Green Bay takes the lead 10-7. A quick start to this one. Everybody scoring here. So we've talked about that changing cast in the 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick at wide receiver for the Packers. Not a 1st-round pick on the offensive side since Aaron Rodgers was taken in the 1st round. 15 of the 18 used on defensive players in the 1st round. Only 3 offensive players, Balaga, Sherrod, and Jordan Love, who's still the backup quarterback, but no receivers, no running backs, no tight ends. That hasn't happened around here in 20 years, longest streak in NFL history. So they've had the franchise quarterback the guy who's bound for Canton, whose name will be up here forever at Lambeau whenever he steps away. But they haven't gotten him a first-round talent. Now, he's had some great players, Chris. Some of it his doing. He's made them, but that's been the question, the cast surrounding Aaron Rodgers. His kickoff will be returned from a yard deep. And Ebner will just get to the 20-yard line. Isaiah McDuffie with the tackle.
You know, Mike, I think it's a little bit of the curse of greatness, right? When you have a player like Aaron Rodgers over there, and he's taking a good chunk of the salary cap, let's say that too. But you feel like you can put second, third rounders around him, and he's going to have success. On the defensive side, they have some expensive players. 5 of their top 7 paid players are on the defensive side of the ball, and they need to pick it up just a bit this year.
And it's not knocking the drafting. Their drafting on the defensive side's been terrific.
Correct.
Fields takes over from the 20. He's pressured. Look out from behind. He goes down. The ball comes out. And it is ruled down with a sack. So no fumble and the recovery, but the pressure coming from Preston Smith off the edge for the sack.
The 15-yard line, second down.
Great job by Preston Smith. Really, the pressure came from the other side, and then he was able to run the full circle and run down Justin Fields so hard when that contact comes from behind, and you just never see it. Close, but good job by Fields to hang on.
Second and 15, Darnell Mooney is the move man. He's got the ball on the run, and he goes down for a loss. Rasul Douglas comes up from his nickel spot to make the stop.
Rasul Douglas, so impressive a season ago. He ends up with 5 interceptions, 2 pick sixes. So how they reward him? They put him in the slot, something he's never really done, and he has been terrific at it so far. Sometimes you need veteran players to play somewhere they're not so comfortable. Douglas has been knocking it out.
3rd and 19. And Fields will throw a safe pass to Montgomery. Long way to go. Not going to get there. Douglas with the stop and a very quick 3-and-out for the Chicago offense.
But, Mike, just what they did last week, right? If they had a bad series, if they took a sack, throw a screen, run a draw, don't give it up on this end of the field. They think their stamina, both mental and physical, will win games for them in the second half. They're not going to make big mistakes in the first.
Rookie punter Trenton Gill kicks it away. Fair caught by Amari Rodgers. A kick of 42, and there was no return. Rasul Douglas made a couple of plays. Remember the Arizona game last year? He was a huge impact guy for the Packers. A couple of stops on Sunday night. 8 great years here, but Davante Adams traded to Las Vegas in the offseason. That is a lot to replace. So who's going to do it? Now that he wears silver and black, you got the veterans like Lazard, Randall Cobb, Sammy Watkins, his 3rd team in 3 years, Amari Rodgers, more of a return guy. And then those rookies. Torrey in the back is inactive tonight, but that's the crew that Aaron Rodgers has, and it's a little bit of lean on the veterans. Let those young guys develop. A couple of catches for Watkins so far tonight. And a couple of scoring drives for the Packers. Rodgers' first pass, tried to get it to Watkins again. Incomplete with Kyler Gordon one more time in coverage.
Yeah, if they want to come out and go after the rookie, they have an opportunity, because on first down, the Bears are coming down with their safeties, man-to-man on the outside. This time just good enough, and anytime the Bears can get you in second down, now they're playing, right? Now they have an opportunity, and they really need to make a bit of a defensive stand here. Got to keep yourself in the game when you're playing against Aaron Rodgers. There's the young guys on the back end. Gordon will play in the slot, and the nickel play outside when they just have 4 DBs on the field.
Timeout called here by Rodgers. It's the second taken by Green Bay. You can hear Aaron. Aaron's played so long, he knows all the referees. You can hear him say, "Timeout, Craig." He calls them by their first name.
All right, let's take a look at the Walmart Plus 4K Sky Cam. Love doing this. Get inside the game a little bit. And why not? Let's go to Elton Jenkins. He is the security blanket. Sometimes you think a security blanket is being one of the wide receivers of the tight end. But for Aaron Rodgers, when he has confidence in his protection, and man, usually he's had a lot of confidence with Bakhtiari on one side, Jenkins on the other. There's David Bakhtiari. He should be back in a week or two, we all hope. It's been a long road since that first knee injury for him. But those two guys are as good as any two players on this Packers team other than Aaron Rodgers.
But Packer fans are going to tell you, we've been hearing Bakhtiari's a week or two away for about 6 months now. It's been 3 surgeries on that knee.
Yeah, well, forgive Bakhtiari for wanting to take a couple more weeks at the tail end of it, right?
He tried hard to get back for the playoffs last year. Played just a few snaps the final week of the season. Out of the timeout, Rodgers on the roll, under pressure, and throws it incomplete. A receiver in the vicinity in Tyler Davis. That's Trevis Gibson with the pressure one more time.
So, Mike, let me just show you what they're doing. And even though it's Aaron Rodgers and he knows everything that's going on, they start these safeties back here, but they have been walking one of them down into the box to take away the run. So here comes Aaron with a play action pass, but it was covered beautifully on the outside by the young rookie. So many times, rookies, it's not the physical mistakes they make, it's the mental mistakes. But so far, these guys have been on it.
Five of the pattern, 3rd and 10, pressure coming for Rodgers, and they got him from around the edge. Robert Quinn, who was 2nd in the league in sacks last year, comes around the edge to get Aaron Rodgers and force the Packers to punt.
I love watching Robert Quinn play. Watch how he goes. First of all, straight up the field, and then a hard turn, and watch him almost fall into the quarterback. He gets so low, he is just right down at the ground level almost to be able to turn the corner. 18.5 sacks a year ago, and comes right back with a huge one here.
We watched his entire sack reel.
It was amazing,
yesterday.
Wasn't it?
A lot of them were like that, right?
It was.
Former Bear, Pat O'Donnell, gets it away. That is a rocket shot. Wow. All the way back and a touchback. 72 yards. Fired up to kick against his old team, huh?
Bears fans are saying, where was that with us?
Motion in his leg, motion on the face of Aaron Rodgers. Ups and downs of this first quarter and a bit against the Bears. Tomorrow, change the past, one leap at a time. Don't miss the premiere of the new series Quantum Leap tomorrow 10, 9 Central on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Bears take over at their own 20-yard line. And they've put Lucas Patrick in the ballgame. He and Tevin Jenkins have been rotating at that guard spot. And a flag.
Ball start. Offense. Number 84. The 5-yard penalty. First down.
So the tight end Ryan Griffin, one bookkeeping piece of business for all you fantasy football players. The Aaron Jones play for the touchdown, officially a run. So not an Aaron Rodgers touchdown pass. Do you have Rodgers?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, good.
All my quarterbacks are hurt now.
I know.
Prescott, Trey Lance.
There's Patrick, former Packer, first 5 years. They hope he'll be the starting center eventually for these Bears. He's working off the thumb injury now. Here's the first run of Khalil Herbert for tonight, and he doesn't go very far at all. Preston Smith over there on the tackle.
There's Joe Barry, one of the really good ones. He's believes in coaching those zone defenses on the backside, and Jair Alexander, after the opening week loss, wasn't too happy about that. He wanted to take Justin Jefferson one-on-one all over the field, but that's not the style of Joe Barry.
Herbert with the run here to the 20-yard line. Bears have been backed up the last few plays. Able to gain about 4 on that one. We'll have 3rd and long coming up. Yeah, Alexander's the highest paid corner on average in the history of the league at $21 million a year. And he wants to show his man skills and feels like, hey, Justin Jefferson ripped us for 184 yards. I want to play man, but that's not Barry's deal.
Yeah, well, one of the plays of those 184, he had him in man coverage and dropped the coverage. So there's always a little something.
Another 3rd and long. Fields. Nothing open downfield. He'll take off and throw. It's complete, but he's over the line of scrimmage. So this gain across midfield to the 49 to Equanimeous St. Brown is going to come back. Line of scrimmage was the 20, and he was over by at least 2 yards.
Remember, if any part of the back leg is onsides, if you will, then that's a legal pass. If not, it was fun, but.
Illegal forward pass. Quarterback was across the line. Offense number 1. That also includes a loss of down, loss of 5 yards, 4th down.
Football would be pretty cool if you're allowed to do that.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
That one wasn't close. So after that opening drive and the touchdown, pair of 3 and outs here for this Chicago offense. And the Packers defense, as you said at the beginning, the unit that should be playing better has stepped up.
Yeah, they are.
Getting rid of it quickly is Trenton Gill. Amari Rogers back at the 25, has a little bit of space here. Rogers, middle of the field, returns it to the 45-yard line. 20 on the return. And a net of 37, so the Packers get good field position to be in Green Bay with Sunday Night Football.
Aaron Rodgers, we see all kinds of throws from this magician, and we asked him the other day, like, okay, you do all these little sidearm flicks and around, and football is not easy to throw in Green Bay. I said, how many arm issues have you had in your career? He said, my last one was in high school. Like, come on.
Right?
And he doesn't really throw in the offseason. All he wants to do is make it through the preseason to family night, and he says, I'm good. So he's on a pitch count till family night. And then after that, no problem.
It's the big night here in the stadium before the preseason games start. Whatever the system's been, it's working. Best starting field position of the night. Play action on first down. Complete to the veteran Randall Cobb, who's been on the end of a lot of those Rodgers passes. His second tour of duty here in Green Bay, and a gain of 8.
And I think Randall Cobb made the comment, you know, when times get a little tough and you've got those rookie receivers out there and you're not sure what they're going to do, that's why you brought me back, right?
Yeah, he said, lean on me.
Yeah, just lean on me a little bit. That's why you brought me here. And it was, believe me, it was Aaron that brought him here.
Yeah, this is year 2 of tour number 2. After Cobb went to Dallas and Houston. 2nd and 1, Aaron Jones left side, waiting for that block. Got the first down. Roquan Smith shows him the sideline, but Aaron Jones has the Packers moving on the Bears side of midfield.
It's interesting to watch Roquan Smith move, isn't it? He is the guy who's in charge of going sideline to sideline here, and he's trying to chase down Aaron Jones. It's always a foot race. That time just enough. And, of course, we know about the contract dispute Roquan Smith had, but one of the things the Bears were grateful for after his hold in during the course of training camp and he started playing, never came up again, and he just got to work.
He asked for a trade. He is his own agent. He's back, played well in week 1. Jones to the right, sifting through would-be tacklers. Nice run to the 33-yard line, and Jones already has 7 touches after 8 all of week 1.
So much of this looks like the Rams offense, which of course is where a lot of this comes from. You'll see a lot of sort of crackbacks and pulls and getting people out on the edge, receivers in tight formations, and those guys, once they just get a little bit of movement and you get Aaron Jones running behind it, man, that's hard to stop.
There he goes again. This is A.J. Dillon who's come in, and he takes it for the first down to the 24-yard line. So these backs being used almost interchangeably, and they're giving the Packers good offense in this first half.
Yeah, got a little pressure right up the gut this time from the nose tackle of the Bears, but unable to get there on that one. Who was that? Angelo Blackson?
Yep. Who wanted the hold on Myers. At the 24 again. This is Dillon again. Good cutback. Dillon on the run with a flag down, a gain of 9. As Kendall Vildor stopped him. One play later.
Holding. Offense, number 70. The 10-yard penalty replay. First down.
They get the holding. This on Royce Newman, the right guard.
Yeah, and Royce Newman back in there at right guard after playing right tackle. But this is when the Bears now have to win, right? I mean, this is the way they're going to play. They're trying to do the right thing. They're playing deep, taking away the big plays from Aaron Rodgers. And eventually you'll get a holding call, you'll turn the ball over, you'll fumble, something will go wrong. Here it is. This is the opportunity. Now you have to keep Aaron Rodgers from picking up 20 yards.
Both backs again for Rodgers. First and 20. Pocket collapses. A flag down as Rodgers goes down again. If that holds up, it's another one for Trevis Gibson. And would be the third sack of Rodgers if the play stands.
There's no foul on the play. Second down.
Excuse me? Well, this isn't always classified as a hold, I don't think. Depending on the game that you've got going, sometimes you can do that and just that's not a hold, Mike. I have no idea why that's not a hold. But he's still got the sack. How about the game that Gibson's having out here tonight?
I know. Second and 28. So to the edge it goes, and Romeo Doubs sifting through Dobbs to the 22-yard line. 4th-round pick out of Nevada. And one of those rookies being counted on to fill in at the wide receiver spot.
Boy, look at all the big dogs getting out in front of that play. As soon as that ball was thrown, there were 4 offensive linemen scooting out in front and really made some nice blocks. But you're seeing some of the elusiveness of Romeo Doubs. They can compare some of his release moves to Davante Adams, and that's as high a praise as you can give. He is some athlete.
Opened eyes in camp here for the Packers. Gain of 20, sets up 3rd and 8. And Rodgers across the middle. It's caught by Cobb for the first down at the 13-yard line. So the Packers, driven back, take 2nd and 28 to first down in the red zone in 2 plays.
A lot of people don't know that Aaron Rodgers likes to play darts in the quarterback room. You're going to get a look at one here. Flank him out. He knows he's got Roquan Smith one-on-one. Nice move. Little sidearm dart in there for the first down. So first down and 20, doesn't matter.
You see that route, and you just see Randall Cobb gets Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron can trust him. The 13. Pitch Dillon on the edge. Cut back by Dillon inside the 10. The all-time leading rusher in Boston College history has that the 9 as we approach 5 minutes till halftime. The Pack up 3.
There's a handful of people in the league I would not want to tackle. That's one of them right there. About 250 pounds worth of man, and he's sort of the ultimate closer. You know what I mean? When you're at the end of the game and all of a sudden they're up a touchdown and they want to go into that 4-minute drill, and here comes 250 pounds, and sometimes you make those business decisions when you're playing defensive back.
His nickname is Quadzilla. Says it all. Those quads, massive. From the 9, it's Aaron Jones coming around the edge to the end zone. Jones with a touchdown. And that one will go down as a passing touchdown.
And as soon as this play was over, Aaron Rodgers turns to his head coach, Matt LaFleur, and he said, "Nice call, baby." See, yeah, that's you. That's a good one.
They have that 2nd down and long, and 4 snaps later in the end zone, and Mason Crosby adding the extra point. He took one in on the ground. This one technically a touchdown reception. Either way, Jones, big part of the game plan. Big part of the Packers' 10-point lead on Sunday Night Football. Big golf event next weekend, the President's Cup on NBC Golf Channel and Peacock. U.S. team has won 8 consecutive times. International team will try to change that. Look at the build out there at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, the first tee. What a scene that's going to be. They've sold that thing out. The fans of North Carolina looking forward to the President's Cup. We'll have it for you all weekend. Golf Channel, Peacock, and NBC Saturday, 8 Eastern. We'll get going with the weekend coverage.
I see Aaron win a lot of golf matches, too.
Well, his index is 2.1. It's pretty darn good. Amir Smith-Marset is back this time to take the kickback for the Bears. Trying to get to the edge, and he will not get past the 15-yard line. Well covered by Green Bay. Dallin Levitt, one of the guys added on special teams for these Packers, try to improve that phase of the game. Aaron Rodgers' touchdown pass is 450th, and he is the 5th man to reach that mark. I think you know the other 4 guys. Been on TV a time or 2. But another of the many milestones now in that 450 club. Chris, important spot here for the Bears with 4.5 to go.
No doubt. They could use.
From the 15, Fields throws. It is incomplete. Trying to get it to Cole Kmet, the tight end out of Notre Dame. And after that good opening drive, back-to-back 3 and outs, and the Bears have been backed up in this second quarter.
Yeah, Cole Kmet really didn't have a catch last week. Only had 1 target so far here. He is the guy they need to get awakened in this offense. But here we go again. It's second down, and now the pressure really comes. Keep your eye on Kenny Clark inside. He is a pass rushing demon, number 97.
Montgomery, nowhere to go. Rashawn Gary, a loss of 5, and the Packers defense is alive in this second quarter.
Boy, that Rashawn Gary's just so athletic. Sometimes the coaches will tell you, like, okay, you want to jump inside and try and make a play, that's fine, but you better darn sure make it. And when you're as athletic as that guy is, inside, outside, it doesn't matter. Sweet play.
Loud crowd. 3rd and 15. Packers bring 4. Fields complete, but well short of the first down. It's Equanimeous St. Brown one more time. Eric Stokes, first-round pick from 2 years ago out of Georgia. That's 3 straight 3 and outs for Chicago.
I'm going to tell you, the Packers, I don't think we're too happy with how they played defense. Watch this one. Eric Stokes going to absolutely fly. Gets there in a hurry and delivers a big hit. As a receiver, you take too many of those rip shots, you start thinking about it.
Trenton Gill with the kick. A lot of hang time. Rodgers muffs it. Got it on the bounce. That 42-yard kick almost became a turnover. He's out of bounds at the 45. We have a flag about 6 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Five yards would not help.
It was 4th and 6. Let's see if this is a tack on to where it ended up.
During the kick, holding, return team number 6. That's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Green Bay.
And we're back in 30 seconds after this from AWS. Capacity about 80,000. It was City Stadium, then Lambeau Field. If you include the playoffs, the 404th NFL game in this magnificent venue. Packers on a roll here from the 33. It's number 33, Aaron Jones, having a half. Jones for 14 yards as he runs it to the left.
Watch these 2 guys inside trade off this block and go get the next one here. It's really cool to watch line play inside. Beautifully done by Josh Myers to get up there. And then John Runyon coming back from that concussion, getting to the second level to create that hole.
It's 9 touches for Jones, 77 yards. He has 77 of the Packers' 180. 54 of them coming on the ground. And he's being Aaron Jones again. 47. It's A.J. Dillon. He tries to cut it back, and he'll gain just a yard as we get close to the 2-minute warning.
And let's make no mistake about it. It is Aaron Rodgers who's making the final call. So all these runs are coming in as a run pass option. He's choosing run.
And the mix right now is 17 runs, 18 passes. 2-minute warning here at Lambeau. Bears offense is stalled. Packers offense is churning. 17-7 Green Bay.
Maria, Tony, Jason coming up on the Toyota halftime.
Super Bowl hangover in Cincinnati.
Mike McDaniel 2-0 against Belichick and Harbaugh.
Plus the Niners without Trey Lance. Mike, back to you.
Yeah, Maria, that was so disappointing to see the injury to the San Francisco quarterback. We'll see the 49ers next Sunday night in Denver taking on the Broncos, who rallied to get the victory over Houston. Packers have 1 timeout remaining. They face 2nd and 9 out of the 2-minute warning. And Rodgers get to Jones, a flag down, as Aaron Jones again continues his really good running. Takes it out to the 38-yard line. The initial indication from the official is offside against the Bears.
Offside. Defense number 94 lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Trying to gain a little edge out there, and why not? Aaron Rodgers starting to carve you up, but really the damage that's being done so far in this game has been their focus on the running game. When they get the running game going like that, and the Bears knew it, they knew that they had to be able to take that away to be able to get after Aaron Rodgers. They thought they could get some pressure the same way Minnesota did last week, but they can't stop the run.
The 38-yard line, it's A.J. Dillon. These cutback runs have been effective for the Green Bay backs as well. Inside the 35-yard line, 100 seconds on the turning clock.
There's Matt LaFleur, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, I don't think I've ever asked him a question that he didn't start to answer with yes, sir, or no, sir. Comes from a military family and a lot of fun. He has little sideline celebrations and the glasses and the whole thing.
Second and 7, Rodgers trying to escape the pocket here and throws on the run. Wow. Caught by Cobb at the 14-yard line. Pickup of 20.
So we talk about Elton Jenkins, right? He's going to take care of his out there. The minute this guy comes through, Aaron Rodgers, notorious for stepping up and through, not to run, but to throw. He gets to the line of scrimmage, and unlike Fields, turns sideways, delivers the shot.
That was beautiful. 42 seconds left. Rodgers will pull it, throw it to Robert Tonyan, the tight end. We'll take it to the 5-yard line. 35 left. Over to LaFleur, who's going to look up at the clock and make a decision here. Again, just the 1 timeout left, and take it here. So Green Bay out of timeouts. Just shy of the first down. We'll have 2nd and 1 coming up.
Yeah, you'll get a look at Aaron. He knows that that gap is available to you, and the Bears have been really rushing just 4. And Mike, as you well know, if you're rushing 4, that means there are 6 lanes you have to protect, and Aaron has a way of finding those other 2. But I think the impressive part about him is his ability to get all the way up into the pocket, make you believe he's going to run, turn sideways, and then make you pay.
You said it when we were talking about that up and out and the ability to throw on the run like that. That was a perfect pass to Cobb that got them down close. So no timeouts here. 2nd, 1 for the first down, 5 for the touchdown. Jones already has 2. Rodgers, touchdown, Lazard. Alan Lazard back. He caught 8 touchdowns last year. First of this year.
Watch a veteran receiver out here take his time, give his quarterback a chance to get settled. And if you give Aaron Rodgers that much space, he's going to whip this little sidearm special right in there. He has been relying on his veteran receivers tonight. So much for the young Bucks.
And on a night where there was just a 10% chance of a shower, we've hit the 10%. It starts raining lightly, but everything feels good to the Green Bay fans. Rodgers' second touchdown pass. Lazard, first of the year. Well, they've had a lot of enjoyable nights here in Green Bay. Little rain coming down, undeterred. Fans waving their towels, enjoying this Packers onslaught here in the second quarter. They've outscored Chicago 21-0 in this quarter. And a touchback there, and no return. So Aaron didn't say relax or anything like that, but you got the sense that they were going to get the veterans involved. And the veterans have carried the day in this first half.
And I think that was the right move, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you've got some young talent, and you have to develop them really to give yourself a chance for the Super Bowl. But let's relax. Let's get it to the veteran guys. This is the right defense to do it against. They're not going to play a ton of man-to-man coverage out there. Those guys know what they're doing. Trust them.
Bears get the ball to start the second half from the 25. Fields will just sling it out. It is Khalil Herbert, and he'll only gain 3 yards officially. Bears do have 2 timeouts. Doesn't look like Matt Eberflus is anxious to use them here.
Well, after that 71-yard drive to open the game and the touchdown, they looked so good. 3 drives since, just 10 total yards, all 3 and outs.
And take it to halftime. Bears get the ball to start the second half. The first half controlled by Green Bay. Up 24-7. Here's Maria, Tony, and Jason. Toyota halftime. What's coming up, folks?
All right, thanks, Mike. Obviously, we all had questions about the Packers' offense after Week 1. I think they answered them in the first half of Week 2.
They did. We had a feeling they'd go back to those running backs, and Jones and Dillon were great.
They're playing the game they want to play. They're playing the game on their terms. Run it first, then Aaron Rodgers making some plays, and the defense is playing awfully well.
All right, coming up on the halftime, the Bucs defense carried the day in New Orleans. And with Trey Lance done for the season, how Jimmy G and the 49ers will move forward. That and more coming up on the Toyota halftime.
Want to get pumped for tonight's game? Just tell Siri, play the Today's Hits playlist. Tonight's first half highlights are brought to you by Chevrolet.
It's edition 205 of the most played rivalry in the history of the National Football League. Rodgers, pocket collapsing, and he's thrown down. Fields to the corner and in for the touchdown. Justin Fields just pitch it to Aaron Jones, spin in the end zone. And the first Lambeau leap of the year. Aaron Jones having a half.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Third quarter now from Green Bay, Wisconsin. What a quarter it was for the Packers in the second. 24-7. They are on top. Here's the buzz. Rodgers, a couple of TD passes. That's now 63, fourth most by a player against one team. Aaron Jones, a couple more touches than he had all of last week in Minnesota. More yards and much more of an impact. And the Bears' offensive first drive was great. Look down that left column. The 3 after that, not so much. Packers defense heard from and with authority, and a long field to go with for Justin Fields and the Bears, and thus we have had this game flip. Bears get the ball to start this third quarter. And the Mason Crosby kick will be brought back by Tristan Ebner. Ebner up the numbers across the 20. He's down at the 22. And Melissa Stark, right after the half, spoke with the Packers head coach.
Matt, coming off just 1 touchdown last week, how did you get your offense going?
Well, I think the run game kind of got us going a little bit, and we've made some big plays. So told the guys at halftime we got to have that mindset. It's 0-0. I think you could see it all across the league this week. Teams coming back. So 1 play at a time, 0-0.
You told us you were disappointed in your defense last week. What about their performance so far tonight?
Well, the first drive started a little shaky, but I thought they rebounded well. The guys are competing. They're playing their butt off.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks.
Thank you, Melissa. Run on first down for Justin Fields. He keeps it. Uses that speed on the outside to gain about 7 yards here on first down. I love the point made by LaFleur. Very conscious of the 3 comebacks from double digits down in the fourth quarter around the league and reminding his team of that at the half.
Yeah, and it's interesting that he comes out as well and on first down runs Justin Fields. I think if you're not going to use that skill set, it is a major factor that hurts your offense.
Number 29, here is Fields, nothing open early, and he goes down. Pocket just kept contracting and contracting. And Rashawn Gary in there as the Packers come up with a shared sack.
Man coverage on the back end allows them to rush 5, which creates one-on-one opportunities. And everybody is talking about that young man right there. Rashawn Gary, what a training camp he had. Relentless effort, non-stop, just hustle. And I tell you, between he and Preston Smith on the other side, Kenny Clark inside, when you have to throw, that's a problem.
3rd and 9, Bears have to throw. And Fields protected here, throws it short, but David Montgomery can't get to the first down. Devondre Campbell, a good inside linebacker, comes up with it. And one more time, another drive with no first downs for Chicago.
Great job that time. A lot expected out of Devondre Campbell. He had to make up ground. But watch right in here as well. They had a spy that time on Justin Fields. It's the rookie Quay Walker. Anywhere that Fields took off the run, they had him.
Rookie out of NC State, Trenton Gill gets a little pressure. Who gets away his best kick of the night. Amari Rodgers on the run at the 15, gets taken down. Exceptional coverage by Josh Blackwell and special teams for the Bears. Long field coming for the Pack. 2 minutes into the third in Titletown, where history is right outside the front gate. Sunday Night Football brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Jersey Mike's Subs, be a sub above. By Geico, save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. And by Lowe's, let's tackle home together. The fans get into this rivalry, and that fan showed up last year, the Aaron Rodgers doppelganger, and he made international news. People couldn't believe it.
I can't believe it. If I walk by that guy and go, hey, Aaron.
The story behind that, from the 14-yard line. First down, Rodgers just getting the handoff to Aaron Jones. Will spin and turn. He'll get 5 to the 19. Melissa, you have more on that?
Yeah, Mike, we tracked down Rodgers' doppelganger, Frank. He's a software engineer who lives in Munich, and last year was his first Packers game. He had no idea that he looked like Rodgers until he was walking around the stadium and fans started yelling at him, "Stop drinking beers, you have a game." So he became an internet sensation after our cameras found him. There he is, and Rodgers even followed him on Twitter. He got tickets to the Packers game in London later this season. He's hoping he can meet Rodgers and maybe have his jersey signed.
That's Frank watching the game in Germany tonight. It's pretty cool. Here's Aaron Jones with a run for the first down to the 26-yard lines. The Packers keep doing it on the ground here. And, of course, he's in Munich, and the NFL is going to be in Munich as the Buccaneers are playing Seattle over there later on this season.
All right, now, seriously, if they get in the game and the Packers get a lead like tonight, can we sneak him in the game for one play?
Frank?
Just one. What do you think?
The Bears would be all for it at this point. It's pretty neat. Chris talked about it. The mix of runs and passes been so effective for Green Bay tonight. They are almost right down the middle. Run 21. And another one. Jones into the secondary. Aaron Jones having a night. Even the officials can't keep up with him. Out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Big run of 36. And Jones is over 100 yards.
Kyler Gordon thought he was going to come up and just blow this play up, but he slipped. Here comes the run right inside of him, and once they lose that contained right there, it was game over. And what a game Aaron Jones is having. I don't think he liked the idea of not getting any touches last week. Just 8, and he's lighting the world on fire here tonight.
Averaging 10 a pop. He'll get a break, and A.J. Dillon is in. The 38-yard line. 2 fakes, swinging out to Watson, the rookie, who was stopped behind the line of scrimmage by Eddie Jackson. One time an all-pro safety. Chris, they hope they can get him back to his big playmaking days that he showed in his first 2 years.
Yeah, they think that he will, too. 2 Pro Bowls in 2018 and 19, and he had 10 interceptions in those first couple of years there, but he hasn't had any since until last week. But here's the stat for you. The Bears are 11-0 when he has an interception, so they desperately need him to get an interception very soon.
It's going to change everything?
I think.
Really? All right.
Find the doppelganger if not.
Get Frank to throw it. 2nd and 11. Dillon again, the cut to the outside. Dillon very close to the first down at the 28-yard line. They are running right through the Bears. 150 yards on the ground for Matt LaFleur's team.
I'll tell you what, these guys are just playing some football right here. You'll see Tunyon come across the formation and make a play. You're going to see a great block up the field by Elton Jenkins, and I think having Elton Jenkins back in this game has made a difference. There's just a confidence level right now with not just Aaron Rodgers, but everybody running the football here tonight. They are plowing through the Bears.
28-yard line. So it's fumbled in the backfield, and the Bears fell it first. Let's see if they recover. Dominique Robinson had his arms on it, couldn't secure it, and the Bears do come away with it. So the mesh between the quarterback Rodgers and A.J. Dillon not clean there. It's already been signaled. Bears ball, despite the fighting on the bottom of the pile. Mike Pinnell, the former Packer, down there as well. The mistake by Green Bay gives Chicago the ball. Pop superstar Camila Cabello joins Blake and Gwen and John. It is the new season of The Voice, and it premieres tomorrow, 8/7 Central on NBC, and streaming the next day on Peacock. She's new to the show. Leroy Butler, new to Canton, inducted the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in August. Man who started the Lambeau Leap. After the Packer turnover, here's David Montgomery spinning and turning for the Bears. Good run. Quay Walker's got to wrestle him down. Gain of about 8. Let's go back to what happened on the fumble.
Yeah, and I've got to believe that this was probably on Aaron Rodgers. He's going to run right into Dillon here and tried to get out of his way, and Dillon didn't know which way to try and take that handoff, and it goes on the ground. Sometimes things just getting messed up and it giving the Bears a chance. And it's interesting for me, and he's not happy. Interesting for me that now the Bears are finally getting back to their running game. Get out of the shotgun for a little while and be willing to let David Montgomery take over. He started off great on that first drive, and they kind of got away from it.
Bears' last first down was at the 4:37 mark of the first quarter. Until now, Bears have a first down, and they're into Packer territory as Montgomery takes for a carry of 10.
And Mike, here's why I think it's so important. If I had to put things in order of what Justin Fields does best, I think the run action and running the ball and all that sort of stuff. I love the bootlegs with him, and I like play action as well. What I like least that he's doing right now is that, and I think he may have gotten a free penalty.
Here's a pass in the middle that is caught to the 31-yard line. Ryan Griffin, the tight end, with the catch. A Bear is injured on the play. Let's see a flag as Tevin Jenkins, the guard, gets up and heads back towards his huddle in his right guard spot, but a good pass by Fields for a gain of 18.
It caught the Packers completely sleeping on that one. They had no idea what was going on. Snap to the line of scrimmage right down here. I think they should have gotten a freebie out of that, too.
Absolutely. Still a completion from the 31. Montgomery had a very good opening drive, fighting for yardage here. He'll get 2 to 29-yard line.
Well, let's talk about Justin Fields a little bit, because he's learning something new. He's learning, you see the right foot forward, tonight the left foot forward. They're trying to time up, just like Aaron Rodgers does, with that two-step drop. And then if you want to make a throw, you take a hitch up, and another route times out with that. You see how effortless it is for Aaron Rodgers, and it's something that Justin Fields is getting better doing.
Second and 8. Here is Montgomery. He'll go forward to the 22-yard line. How hard is that for a quarterback to change that footwork that he's been using his whole career until this year?
It's hard. And have you ever taken dance lessons with your wife or anything?
Long time ago.
Yeah, right, for your wedding or
yeah,
whatever.
Right.
And you're sitting there and they're trying to teach you and you're going 1, 2, 3. You're thinking too much, right? But when he's in play action or he's outside the pocket, he looks like one of the great athletes in the league.
Absolutely. Third and 2, looked like the timing was a little messed up there. Fields trying to use that athleticism, and will finally chase him down. Jair Alexander with the stop. It'll be 4th down, and the Bears will bring the field goal unit on. Little confusion on that snap there.
Yeah, the read option, and I guess he's reading out there, but if he were reading out there, maybe he just never saw it. I think when the snap surprised him, he lost the read and they lost the play. It just was a total breakdown.
Yeah, Whitehair, the guard's looking back at him, right? And the ball snapped. And Preston Smith is there saying enough. Cairo Santos from 44 yards. Bears turn the turnover into 3 points as Santos knocks it through. It's a 14-point game. 5:11 left here in the third. #203rd time in the regular season. 2 playoff meetings on top of that. It is the most played rivalry in the history of the National Football League. It has been one-sided of late, dominated during the Favre and Rodgers era by the Packers. They plan all year for what they're going to wear for this one. Cairo Santos the kickoff. Amari Rodgers will bring it back from 1 deep. Rodgers cut it up the middle of the field. He'll be brought down at the 24-yard line.
Well, let's take a look at our next-gen stats powered by AWS. And these 2 running backs, what has been the magic so far? Well, they put them on the field together. 11 plays tonight, just 7 in all of week 1. But why do they do that? The reason is you want your best football players on the field, and it just happens to be both of these running backs. And they do a great job blocking for each other as well. Great friendship. A.J. Dillon, that time out in front blocking. He was the lead dog last week. This week it's Jones, but they have 2 real horses in the backfield.
And they're both good at both, running it and catching it.
They are.
After the turnover, Rodgers throws it to Robert Tonyan on the sideline. Brisker takes him out of bounds. We go down to Melissa.
Mike, I asked A.J. Dillon about this relationship, and he looks at Aaron Jones like a big brother on and off the field. They have such a good relationship. He said, we push each other. We always point out what the other could do better, and we take pieces from each other's game since we have different body types. He said there are no egos between us. And Dillon said, we don't care if people consider us to be the best rushing duo in the league. We know we have the talent to be that.
And one thing Matt LaFleur loves is the vibe that you just described in that running back room. Ben Sherman's the running back coach, really sets a great tone, and these guys bring it to life on the field. This is the one who's been here longer. The 5th-year man, Jones. Gain of a couple yards, 6th year, 5 years already in the league. He was taken in the 5th round back in 2017.
But, you know, he averaged 9.5 yards per touch last week and only got it 8 times. And it was funny talking with Matt LaFleur. The first thing he goes, I know, right. I know, I couldn't believe it. I don't know what happened to me. It was all my fault.
It's a little bit different on the offensive side. Remember, Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator. He's in Denver. Got win 1 as an NFL head coach. We'll see him next Sunday night against San Francisco. And Luke Getsy, the quarterback coach, is now on the other side, the Bears offensive coordinator. 3rd and 6 here. Rodgers on the incomplete on a flag. The coverage was good by Nicholas Morrow. We have 2 flags down on this play. 1 there and 1 12 yards farther down the field.
If I had to bet, I would say it was on Vildor down here at the bottom of the screen. Sammy Watkins had a pretty good release.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Pass interference, defense. That penalty declined. Holding, defense number 22. That penalty is accepted, 5 yards and an automatic first down.
We'll cash the bet for you.
There you go. Well, you're going to see Vildor right here. Nice release move that time by Watkins and grab the jersey, right? We've heard that a million times over, and anytime you pull a little cloth, you see a little more cloth.
The Bears, who desperately needed a third down stop, get good field position just to try to get back in the game here. Instead, give the Packers a first down at the 32. Watkins in motion, everybody coming left, and Aaron Jones going north and south. Gain of 8. Every gain feels like 8 or 9. He's averaging almost 10 a carry here tonight.
Yeah, it's always fun for me to watch these big guys move inside, and they're just pulling every time. Josh Nyman out here, he's going to pull in front. The center gets out in front. Josh Myers, and these guys are athletes too, you know. They like getting out there. They like running around and me talking about them on television when they're not holding and all that stuff.
That O-line, it's been an offensive line that hasn't been settled. A lot of bouncing around, but they are performing well tonight. First down run. You know, Chris, it's funny because we hear so often coordinators say he's athletic. It just hit me like he's 6'5", 313. And we're talking about guys who are really good athletes to get out and do that.
And can run. And I'm going to add one more guy to this offensive line, and that's their tight end, Mercedes Lewis. He is a stud. He can not only run block, you'll see him here, he can pass protect. He's been doing this a long time. He's coming up on a couple of longevity records, but he can handle big defensive ends, and there aren't many tight ends that can do that.
Feels like he's been around forever.
He has been.
Yeah, that's right. He's 38 years old. Inside run here with Dillon as we get close to the 2-minute mark. Angelo Blackson inside there for the Bears. Well, this is year 17 for Lewis, and Jason Witten and Tony Gonzalez are the only other tight ends that have played this long. You were talking to him at practice the other day. He's really proud of this longevity.
He is, and you know, he was, I think, a first-round draft pick and came out and played in Jacksonville, had some good years receiving, but now at this point in his career, he knows what his role is. And I tell you, when you get somebody that's as old as Aaron and can do that, that's pretty good.
238-year-olds. Oh, bad snap here. Ball on the ground. Rodgers tried to get to it. He couldn't. But the Packers come up with it. Whoa. And Rodgers wondering what was going on there. That snap came firing back from Josh Myers.
It did come firing back, and it hit. That's exactly what happened. It hit Christian Watson. And so sometimes the timing of those plays, and who knows, is that on the rookie being a little late, but knocked the ball right out of the way. And the Chicago Bears, who just hung around last week, right? And then all of a sudden made a little run, but they have to get off the field here.
Bears have to get, or the Packers have to get to the Bears 45 for a first down.
They're going to give him plenty of room.
Swing it out to Romeo Doubs, see what the rookie can do. And the Bears all over that one. Eddie Jackson with the stop. And Chicago able to get a couple of stops here. And more importantly, keep the Packers off the scoreboard in this third quarter.
Well, they talk about mental and physical stamina. If you're going to be a part of the Bears team, they practice fast. They don't practice long. They only practice about an hour and a half every day, but they expect everything to be full speed. And this defense will not give up. They will not give up regardless of the score.
Packers do not have to snap it, and with the lead, no reason to. So just flip the sides and kick it here in the fourth. We are through 3 in this great rivalry at Lambeau. Packers 24, Bears 10. And Sunday Night Football continues after these messages. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Population right around 107,000. Great Midwestern town. So glad to be back with Sunday Night Football and the Bears and Packers. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark down on the sideline. Packers going to start this fourth quarter, kicking it away to Dante Pettis. It was the NCAA record 9 returns for touchdown as a punt returner. With fair catch this one back at the 10-yard line. Long field coming up for Chicago.
Well, coming into this game, one of the guys we were going to keep our eye on was Kenny Clark. He was tremendous a week ago. Nobody could block him, but the Chicago Bears apparently got the same scouting report. And these big guys inside have done a nice job on him. Cody Whitehair, Sam Mustipher, Tevin Jenkins, Lucas Patrick. Let's give them a little credit. At least they're hanging around in this game and not getting blown up inside, which could have easily happened.
Clark starts on the sideline for this drive. And it's a first down run for Montgomery. And they're also run blocking well here in this second half, like they did in the opening drive of the game. First down for David Montgomery.
You know, Mike, I couldn't really understand it. I mean, they had the great running game going when they did the 70-yard drive. They go 3 and outs, and it was a lot of shotgun stuff.
Didn't it feel like they got away from it?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
And, you know, there were a couple of offsides penalties and a couple of, you know,
right.
first and 15s and some things like that, I guess. But they have been effective running the ball here tonight. And if Justin Fields can come up with another one of those magical plays like he did last week, we'll have a ball game.
There he is, where he's comfortable
There
out of the
it
pocket.
is.
He's going deep downfield. He's looking for Darnell Mooney, and it's incomplete. Step for step with him was Eric Stokes.
You can't ask for better than that. That's exactly what they were looking for. Their deep shot. They get in behind the safety, just strictly one-on-one to their best receiver, and they just cannot hit it. That's all you can ask for. He flipped his hips, flipped his head.
I like Stokes a lot, huh?
Couldn't flip the scoreboard.
Yeah, right. Good corner. Second and 10. We'll try the inside run. And Montgomery. Good bounce. Good second effort into the secondary. First down to 35. 14 on that carry.
You know what a jump cut is, Mike? You know what I'm talking about? Coming here and you jump out there. Well, David Montgomery's one of the best jump cutters that there is in football. And he was in college. He forced more missed tackles in college than just about anybody. And he has brought that to this game as well.
Really good at Iowa State. Very solid his first 3 years in the league. Play action Fields, not fooled, and going down. Preston Smith all over that. He's got a couple here tonight.
Last week it was a bootleg play by Justin Fields that basically won the game. You think the Packers have been paying attention? Watch Preston Smith on the outside here. Nice long fake, sort of that Aaron Rodgers thing. Preston Smith said, I don't think so. And now they've got the big negative play and have to overcome.
No more Smith brothers. Za'Darius is in the division in Minnesota. Preston still working here in Green Bay. Second and 20. Montgomery tries to get some of it back, and he will. A lot more. He's going to get the first down. What a run by Montgomery for 28 yards. And he'll go over 100 yards on this night. First down, Bears on a second and 20 run.
Big Lucas Patrick that time coming out, pulling right out in front of him. And watch the jump cuts. There's one. There's a broken tackle. There's a whatever that was. And a first down. There aren't many times that you come out and you go, okay, it's whatever it was, second and a mile. And you go, let's hand it off and pick it up. Bears are in this game.
Montgomery, $114. He gets a break. Khalil Herbert's the back. Can he do some of his own? Yeah, he can. Look at Herbert knifing through to the 20-yard line. Wow. 27 on that carry. And the Bears got something going on the ground here in the second half.
Yeah, what? Out in front and able to make that lane, because right now the offensive line of the Chicago Bears is taking over this football game. Give them a chance to win it now.
Let's give a shout out to Kari Blasingame as well, the fullback. He's had a couple of nice blocks. false start. Byron Pringle got over here, couldn't get set.
Start. Offense, number 13. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, it just kills you. It makes your offense different. But I don't think you're going to see Matt Eberflus change anything with the runs he just saw. Now, you might bring Justin Fields into the mix and let him run one.
And there you see the guys who are matching wits at this moment. Getsy calling plays to the Bears. Joe Barry matching with the defense. And Barry just sent Kenny Clark back in there. And you saw LaFleur, as we see him often here in Green Bay, reminding these fans they're a big advantage. Make noise. First and 15. Herbert will get the penalty yardage back, +1.
So that time, Mike, we had just the same sort of zone run, but with a fullback in there, and the ball is always intended to go back here. Watch the fullback. He's going that way all the time, but they try and make those linebackers believe they're going outside to the offense's right and going to bring it all the way back.
Passing game on the move. Montgomery back in the game as they were on left. And he falls forward again, which he's so good at. In addition to those missed tackles that Chris mentioned. 3rd and 5 down here as Rodgers and Cobb watch.
And here comes the rotation in. So the big guys, the starters, Dean Lowry, after making a nice play there, comes out of the game. But I think this is 4-down territory. I think they take 2 running shots.
I agree with you. Haven't picked up a first down on 3rd down tonight. Fields going to keep it. Block on the edge by Komet. Got the first down. Held the ball out as he was inbounds. Right at the sticks, I believe. Let's see. Ooh, they're going to mark him short of the 10-yard line. Interesting there. Want to get the ball stuck out. It's where the ball is once he crosses out of bounds. Right on the marker.
Oh, I got to ask Terry about that one.
He may challenge.
Yeah, that's a big call right there.
His challenge flag has been thrown. So Matt Eberflus will challenge here.
Chicago is challenging the ruling on the field that the run was short of the line to gain.
All right, so they'll take a peek in replay. New York will be involved as well. Was that ball when he crossed out of bounds, crossed that marker that met the 10-yard line at a first down?
After review, when the runner stepped out of bounds, the ball was inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first down and goal.
And there's the look.
Chicago will not be charged with a timeout.
From pylon cam, you were watching that foot when it came down.
Yeah, it was close, but big play. The one thing it did, though, Mike, it gave Green Bay's defense a chance to rest.
So, first and goal for the Bears, trying to make this a one-score game. They keep it on the ground with Montgomery, and there finally is a call of Kenny Clark inside. Gain of 2.
Well, and that's the other thing it does. Even if your defensive line was due to rotate out, now you take that much time and your frontline guys get to play these 3 really important downs. There's Dean Lowry, there's Jaron Reed, and there's Kenny Clark. All the big dogs in there.
No completed passes on this drive. And they're going to keep running it. Montgomery brought down at the 6-yard line. Rashawn Gary joining the veteran out of Northwestern, Dean Lowry, sets up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, it's amazing to have fresh legs underneath you at the end of a long drive like that. Here we go, and for Matt Eberflus, he's going to have to make the decision basically now as to whether or not he would go for this on 4th down. I think he will.
You see now, so the play caller knows you got 2 plays here.
Yep. slot.
And on 3rd and goal, Fields pressured, got away. Fields scrambles to the pylon. He tried to hit the pylon. The ball comes out, is picked up by the Packers, but the ball hit the pylon. Was it a touchdown? The conversation between the officials, was he out of bounds with the ball that he reached out, touched the pylon?
Did it come out before the pylon? No. Let's take a look at that.
It's called on the field a touchdown, and that will automatically send it to review.
The ruling on the field is that the runner hit the pylon with the football before he was down. Therefore, it's a touchdown.
Let's see. Down short.
Yep. It's going to be 4th down.
Contacted and down.
Right there.
Yep. Looking right down the line. Great shot, guys.
Now there's no doubt, right?
Right.
You're going
right.
for this.
Heck of a play. And Adrian Amos, former Bear veteran, he saw Fields and went right for that ball as it went to the pylon. There's the knee down. What a great shot. Thanks.
I tell you what, Mike, we are going.
After review, the runner is down by contact, short of the goal line. It'll be 4th down and goal inside the 1-yard line.
Mike, this is going to be one of the great scrums in all of football. You've got Sam Mustipher in there at 332 pounds, and you've got Kenny Clark on the other side, about the same size, about 314, and it is going to be one big pile. But you also have Justin Fields, a massive quarterback. I think you're going to see somebody come behind Justin Fields on a quarterback sneak and see if they can push the whole pile across the line. So, of course, they're going to line up in shotgun.
Shotgun. Fields runs, pushes towards the goal line. It looks like he's short. He is. And there goes a little scuffle, a little pushing. And there go a whole bunch of people in Chicago saying, shotgun? Why? Needed inches. See on replay, does push close to the goal line, but they say no, and Packer ball. We've spent 2 minutes debating. Let's bring in Terry McCauley, 3-time Super Bowl referee. Terry, it looks very close that he broke the front of the plane here. What do you see?
It does look very close, Mike, but it is not clear and obvious to me that the ball breaks the plane.
The ball is in his left hand, right there.
We see the wrist right there. We see the ball right behind it. But does it break the plane of the goal line? Is it clear and obvious? It isn't to me from this angle.
And we've looked at about 6 angles, and that's the best of it in the pile of arms and everything else. It just has to get to the front of that white line. Just touch the front of that plane to be a touchdown. Craig Rolstad with a long look and on with the league headquarters in New York. What a big call this is, too, with 8:07 left. Matt Eberflus has decided he thinks it's clear and obvious, as that freeze that we just showed you is being looked at, and here's the big call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. There's no touchdown. It'll be 1st and 10 Green Bay. Chicago will be charged with a team timeout.
And Terry, does that fall under the we think it is, but it's not certain that it is?
Absolutely. I think it is, too. I think the ball may just break the plane, but we can't prove it with video. It's not clear and obvious, and that's the standard we have to reverse a play.
Yeah, I'm still wondering why they were in shotgun. So, I mean, you got a 225-pound quarterback, right? He's only got to go an inch. That'd have been clear and obvious.
So not winning the second challenge means they are out of challenges for the next 6:07 until we get to the 2-minute warning. A.J. Dillon is the back. Rodgers hands it to him right up the middle, and they get breathing space out to the 5-yard line. And the Bears defense has held their own in this half. They've gotten them back in the game. They ran it down the field. They just came a blade of grass or two short, if that.
Yeah, I thought we might, since they went shotgun, I was thinking, well, maybe Fields is going to dive over the top or go outside, or But if you're going to quarterback sneak anyway.
The 5. Jones will run it for 4 to the 9. 7 minutes and change left in this final period.
Well, let's take a look. Now you're 5 yards away from that goal line instead of 1 inch. And, you know, I'm just probably too old school, but that looked like a shot right there. It would have been a lot easier. But it's what happens. You know, you're backed up, and a lot of things can happen. It's never perfect. We see those plays get stuffed all the time, but you also have the chance to do the old Tom Brady, take it and reach it up over the top. It only has to go that.
Well, the Chicago talk shows will have plenty to talk about. Our buddy Tom Waddle, former Bear. They'll be taking lots of calls about that decision. 3rd and 2 here. Rodgers is going to keep and run it on the edge, and Rodgers will keep it for the first down. Yeah, I'll be 39 December.
You think he's really reading that? You think he's really reading this in man on the line of scrimmage and he sees him duck down inside Al-Quadin Muhammad? Why not? He can do everything else. He probably do that. I've just never seen him run a true read option. That's our opening question next time we see him.
That'll be in Buffalo. Packers at Bills, right? Night before Halloween. Think that crowd will be any good at Orchard Park? The 13, Dillon, nowhere to go. Shut down quickly by Justin Jones. And we have a timeout taken by the Bears, I believe. Yes, we do. Bears going to take a time here. 5:41, trying to preserve some time here.
Aaron Rodgers, excellent against the Bears, no matter the circumstance. Classic Aaron Rodgers, making you pay.
Play after play after play.
Well, Melissa Stark related after the game kicked off. Aaron Rodgers said it was just a natural reaction, that ownership, and there it is. It's usually the Packer fans that have the stock in the team. A little certificate of stock ownership from Aaron Rodgers after that game last year at Soldier Field. He said it was natural. He said the guy was telling him, well, we're number one. They're flipping him the bird, and Aaron gave him that response.
Oh, I know. That sign was one of the great signs I've ever seen.
It looked real.
It did. That's fantastic.
And Packer fans should know there are 537,000 Packer shareholders. Yep. Rodgers, deep shot, downfield. Sammy Watkins having a night. Watkins out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Flips the field with a 55-yard gain.
Well, it's been a little bit of a tough night tonight for Kyler Gordon on the outside, and the old veteran got him. Watch him just take his time, set up this move, and then hit the jets. He was one of the faster guys coming out of that draft, and they have found a way to pick on the young guy. He is going to be a great, great player for the Bears, but tonight they've been after him.
You have to remind yourself going back, Sammy Watkins was the 4th overall pick in the 2014 draft with Buffalo. He's on his 3rd team in the last 3 years. Good veteran role here. Aaron Jones continues his terrific night to the 15-yard line, a gain of 18 yards. And he's up to 134 on the evening.
Yeah, you're going to have to get the young guys on the outside. They're going to have to understand setting these edges out here. It's such a precise game in the NFL. You know, you make a little mistake, and there's the old jump cut to the outside that time by Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones can lay a little speed on you when he gets to the edge as well. But watch him finish. Yeah, that was a little bit better finish by Eddie Jackson. But, I mean, this game is 1 inch, right? 1 inch.
Totally different game. And here are the running backs just on the ground tonight, what they have done. The Packers have run it 29 times with these guys and had 4 more with a couple of plays, including the Rodgers little move. They were almost near 200 rushing yards in this game.
Yeah, and A.J. Dillon with a nice block out there that sprung one of those touchdowns for Aaron Jones. But putting both those guys in the backfield with Jones's ability to catch the ball, they both catch it well. Jones a little bit better, and he can make some of those plays down the field in the passing game.
The two rookie receivers, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs to the top. And a little pop pass to Watson. He gets hit hard. Doesn't go down as Eddie Jackson laid the lick there after a gain of a yard.
And, you know, sometimes when you're fast, it works against you. That was a shot right there by Eddie Jackson coming across. Free completion. But, man, it's hard to make a move when you're going that fast sometimes.
You saw Aaron Rodgers looking back at him as he came back to the huddle, too. And technically another pass, another completion. Rodgers has hit 13 in a row. 18 of 24 tonight. Good play in the backfield. It's a couple by Justin Jones tonight. Came over after 4 years with the Chargers. And part of those veteran additions you talked about, Chris, that Chicago is trying to plug in here just to start the rebuild.
Yeah, and you see some of the quickness there of Justin Jones. He had 3 sacks in just 11 games, which is pretty good for one of those interior guys. They're building this thing. They really are. I mean, you can feel Matt Eberflus and this team. They're going to fight, but they're young. I mean, they're like the cash they have spent on this payroll for the Bears is like $100 million less than the Green Bay Packers, who are all in with Aaron Rodgers trying to win a Super Bowl championship.
Aaron's going to take a timeout here. Bears are out of them. 3:23 to go. Pack up 14, trying to tack one more on. We mentioned the youth and the rebuild in Chicago. That's the new GM, Ryan Poles. He turns 37 on Tuesday. And Chris, you started to allude to it before the break of the salary cap money, as they've gotten a lot of veterans who were here making big money, and they've moved on from them.
But they're going to be right come next year, and they're going to have another year of experience with Justin Fields. And so everything that they're doing now is, yeah, well, they're going to take it a little bit this year probably, but next year, I would keep an eye on this Bears franchise. I think they're doing it right.
Out of the Green Bay timeout, it's 3rd and 11. Rodgers orchestrating, drifting, escaping, and fires on the run. Dillon caught it the second time. He's 5 shy of the first down, but the Packers can bleed some clock and then send Mason Crosby out for the field goal if they so choose.
Well, we talked about the Bears offensive line. This Packers offensive line has done very well tonight. Watch the protection here. Plenty of time. He probably went through 4 different receivers in this progression. Finally, the gap opens up. He slides up, gets a little space, but the Bears do hold.
LaFleur just came down to the official, let him know that he's going to want timeout, or is Rodgers going to try to hard count him first? Timeout taken, field goal unit coming on.
All right, let's talk about the artiste known as Aaron Rodgers. And if you love football, you'll understand this. He has the ability to get around the field and see as many different receivers. There are 5 eligible receivers on the play, and watch him here. As he gets out of the pocket, then he comes down the line, then watch the finger. It's just, yeah, just go that way a little bit. That's all it takes, right? just the finger.
14 straight completions ties a career high that they set against the Jets in 2014. And those coming in the same game. So Mason Crosby has made one from 40, has one from 28 here to make it a 3-score game. And he does with 2:28 to go. And that's all that separates the Bears from yet another win in this series. When we talked about the I still own you, here are the numbers, so the financial report, if you will, behind the ownership. 22-5 in the regular season, add on a playoff win to that. His passer rating, the highest by any player against one team. for the guys who've thrown 500 passes, and he's carved them up in the last 4 games, 14 touchdowns and no picks, and had 2 tonight with no interceptions. So Aaron's the deepest thinker you're going to find around the National Football League.
Yeah.
And we got some deep thoughts.
Yeah, we did.
With him, right?
Yeah, we did.
But the one I take away was his appreciation for the game, because he's been wavering the last couple of years, but he was pretty clear about when Nathaniel Hackett, who's now the Denver head coach, got here with Matt LaFleur, that helped him appreciate the guys he was around for a long time, and that maybe he's not going to have long run. He's had a lot of fun doing this the last few years.
But you're right. Nathaniel Hackett was a really significant guy for him.
Mm-hmm.
He could make Aaron laugh. You know, he made coming to work fun for him. They would play games. They played darts. They played Jeopardy in the quarterback room. They do all these different things. And after you've been doing something as long as Aaron's been playing quarterback, sometimes your best friends end up being the coaches because they're more your age.
Tristan Ebner with the return here. He's got a nice block, and Ebner with a good long return. But a flag is down back at the 29-yard line. I was looking at Patrick Taylor of the Packers, who was playing official, and said, "This is coming back. I got held." Or illegally blocked.
Third and return, holding. Receiving team number 36. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
DeAndre Houston Carson with the flag, and it'll be a long field here for the Bears. It's been a great run in this division for Rodgers, especially since LaFleur has been here, lost to Minnesota. I think this division's going to be a little bit tougher this year. You see the Vikings. We're watching the Bears.
Lions
showed a lot.
For the win.
We jumped up 22-0 on Washington today. Went on for the victory. As Equanimous St. Brown passed behind him, and almost a pick six going the other way. For those interested in one more score in this game.
Yeah, who would be that? And Quay Walker is a guy that can just fly. Watch this guy as he's playing on the outside. Don't ever underestimate his speed or athleticism. He goes sideline to sideline about as fast as anybody you'll see.
Second down, Fields chased by Gary. He escapes the pocket, and you see his athletic ability, but he threw a pick. At the 39-yard line, Jair Alexander comes up with the INT. And you see the defense rallying around him. And the party's on in Packerland.
I tell you what, Jair Alexander came from so far across the field. He is so far behind in this foot race.
He's there?
This is like me racing Usain Bolt. He was 10 yards behind. He closed the gap. You can't even see him in the picture. And he made the play. That was ridiculous. No wonder they paid him $20 million.
Well, he wanted to have an impact on the game. You're not going to throw at me. I'll go get it where you're throwing it. 2:09 to go. Bears out of timeouts. Dylan Regent on the inside. That will take us to the 2-minute warning. Our great crew will pack up here, and we are bound for the Mile High City next Sunday night.
And here we go. Get ready for the Russell Wilson era. It starts right now.
Get the party started.
That was a thing of beauty right there.
Russell Wilson, touchdown Denver.
Ready, set, go.
Sunday Night Football in beautiful Denver next week as the 49ers and the Broncos meet. Russell Wilson at home. They rally to get the victory over Houston. It didn't look good there for a while. At one point he was 6 of 20 passing, but they found enough late in the game to get by the Texans. And now they'll get a 49er team where the entire story for this year pivoted after this terrible first quarter injury to Trey Lance.
Yeah, it's too bad because he's an exciting young player, but luckily for them, Jimmy Garoppolo never got traded, you know, and everybody sort of talked about that. It was way too much money for a backup quarterback. But if you lose your starting quarterback, and they came out and you know they're confident in him. They've made a lot of long runs through the playoffs with him.
So it'll be Garoppolo against Wilson next Sunday night. We look forward to that. And an interesting, division with the 49ers and the Broncos. The West had some power teams and a lot of expectations coming into this season. There have been some tough starts, especially think about what happened with the Cardinals and the Raiders in that game today.
Yeah, but I do think that Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson are going to figure this out. Well, they've only had a couple games together,
Right,
so let's have a little patience with that offense.
Out of timeouts. 2nd and 9. And this night on the ground, controlled by Green Bay. Dillon with the carry. Muscled up to the 33-yard line. Well, the famed Vince Lombardi always talked about Lombardi time. The clock on the right is the clock outside the stadium, which says 10:23 Central Time. The clock on the left is the real time, 10:06.
But here's Melissa's start time right here. Yeah. So you just get a little bonus time in there, right?
That is unfair.
Wait, what does that even mean?
I know.
That is so rude.
Have you been late yet? I missed that.
Never.
Yeah.
I'm the newbie to the group, and I'm always on time.
There you go.
That wasn't me. That was my doppelganger.
You got Frank up there?
3rd and 4. The run by Dillon is a first down, and that should take care of business for the Packers, who will win a home opener for 10 consecutive years. Good night, Frank. You'll see the Packers when they come over to Europe to play the Giants in London in a couple of weeks. Matt LaFleur and company get set to go to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. And then they'll play New England after that. So they get Brady and Belichick in back-to-back weeks before the trip to London to take on Brian Daboll and the Giants.
Good team bounce back, though. It really was. There were some legitimate questions after that Minnesota loss, and they answered pretty much all of them here tonight.
And Aaron Rodgers beats the Bears. What else is new? 24-5 all time against Chicago. Matt Eberflus, Matt LaFleur. They meet for the first time, and LaFleur continues his great record against the North, 16-4 and 7-0 against the rivals. If you're a coach in this rivalry, you want to beat the other guys. That's 7 for 7 for LaFleur. 27-10, our final score. Green Bay wins. Sunday Night Football postgame coming up. First, these messages from your local NBC station.